the screen shared, so it will be captured this time ahead of time, so that's good to know. So we have the team here from AZ World. As mentioned, these guys are currently within their private sale round 2. So really just understanding a little bit more about the project, how they're building it up. But the concept here for me is just too bullish to ignore in terms of their SocialFi to earn. As I mentioned, I come from a marketing background just by education, so really had a lot of time. That's where my first couple jobs were. See the amount of money that advertising companies make off people's time spent engaging with their ads. Also, how much money advertising companies also make from a data perspective off individual consumers. So I think your idea of, putting some of that earning potential back into the hands of consumers and investors in this project is super unique. And it's obviously something that I myself, is somebody who comes from that kind of that world, is really excited to hear about, because like I said, the closer crypto and the real world get to each other, the more opportunities like this really have a purpose. So, I mean, excited to learn about how you guys plan to build up your real world use case with this. And Moon, the floor is yours.
All right, man. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak about this AZ world. This is, of course, in my opinion, is going to be the best project you've seen before in this ecosystem. And of course, it is the first social FI to earn BSC on the platform. And we have a whole lot of people who come here with projects and talking about how interesting it could be. But trust me, this is going to be different because we are the very first social FI to earn on BSC platform. Of course, what I mean here is if you have our application with you, you are going to interact normally like a social media, and you watch feeds, you watch news, you see ads, and you can actually make money in the process. I will talk more and more about the money making process in a platform because that's going to be the real use case of this. Of course, we're bringing a lot of innovations and improvement to make sure that we optimize for our users the amount of income they can make when they're using these platforms, especially for content creators and people who are actually very interested in using social media for interactions and maybe seeing ads and more. Of course, uh, and that's how it is going to be. Of course, now we are actually moving straight for people to be able to interact and earn. That's the main feature. I have to re-emphasize it. You interact, you earn. That's the two-way thing. Of course, it comes with both benefits. And this project, the idea behind this project is that we want people to actually utilize the social media platform that we're going to bring up very soon. And then as they're utilizing it, they go on to make passive income in the process. Of course, this is going to be the whole new thing, and it's going to be a real, real upturn in the crypto world as well at large. Now, we really, really believe that our project is very strong right now, and it is even going to be stronger in the near future because the strength of this project actually depends solely on our dev team. Of course, these guys are so trusted. We really appreciate all of us in the team, very loyal and always up to the task as well. Of course, our developers, they have 10 years experience in the creation of making money online applications, and they've worked with several companies and a whole lot. And this experience is what we actually bring in collectively to bring up this idea of social FI to earn on the Binance Smart Chain platform for the first time. Of course, I'm sure that people would exactly want to, ask us about where our funds will be coming from, whether from the marketing or whatever, or the sale of our token. Now, the truth is, I just have to be very open and transparent at this point. Now, this platform is just like, it's more of Facebook. Let me just set a little example there. On Facebook or Twitter and the likes, if you open the platform, you would see a whole lot of advertisements that have been given there by partners, and you have to view them. Of course, and you know that, as you and I know, most of these things, almost all of them are being paid for before it can reach a large audience. And Facebook and Twitter, they keep taking everything, without even considering, the time and effort and even the data used by users, to be able to view this ad. Now we're trying to bring something different here. When our partners brings advertisement to our platforms, we extend it to users, and as they view this, they actually make some passive income, in form of AZW token, deposited right there to the wallet, of course. And that's the whole idea behind this. Of course, right now we partner with publishers like Google Ads Map, Facebook Ads Partner, and Propeller Ads. And of course, we're looking forward to having more and more partnerships as we continue to gain recognition in the world of SocialFi at large. Of course, we are doing everything to be sure that the price of our token will be very stable and generally acceptable by our partners. Of course, when I take you guys around, the features of our application, you got to see, and understand that we actually bringing the real thing into the BSC platform and the entire crypto ecosystem at large, and then you get to understand what I'm talking about. We try to bring in more sustainability to the project, and we're doing everything to make sure that the price of our token we keep on appreciating and getting more stability. Of course, like I said, this is the first model, the first model on BNB chain in the field of SocialFi to actually interact and earn. This is a real different upturn. Of course, I'm sure that people who are listening to this call, listen to me speak, will want to hear about the team audit. I know the audience would have a lot of questions to ask after my brief introduction, but I think I feel that I should let them know before time, that the necessary things that they need to know before that time comes, in case they still want to ask. Of course, like I said, this team have 10 years experience in outsourcing development, market, and app development, especially dealing with making money online. So they focus mainly on creating application that users can actually use to make money online. And of course, with this 10 years experience, we're bringing up this project just trying to be more transparent, and we're trying to be more open so that people will not have to question about the legitimacy of this project. That's why we need to have our KYC. We've been at KYC that Audit rate and Certik. Of course, I think our first report came in today. Of course, we are still going to have more audits coming up again at InterFi. So the background of the team is very solid from this standpoint. Of course, we have a real utility. We are based in Singapore, New York City, and of course, our marketing team is based in Vancouver in Canada. Of course, this is a very great project as well. So I would like to talk a little more about our LP and how it is going to be. We've had some previous development about this project before this time. We've actually had some private sale in the community, and the whole thing is going to be very amazing. We're still having our fair launch coming up at Pink Cell, and we're having our soft cap to be 290 BNB. Of course, we are still providing whitelist spots for people to actually use and test the app, because right now we have the testnet version, and people can actually enter what is the process. So our fair launch is scheduled around 12th May. It's not too long from now. And of course, people may have questions about how we're going to sustain the LP to make sure that it is not being rocked. We are locking it for good 10 years up to May 2032 at Pink Cell, and that's insane. With that amount of years, that we are just coming to stay. This is truly amazing. Of course, this project is not something we just wake up one night and start bringing up a project and we're thinking of an app that could be more beneficial to us. No, like I said, we have this team, this mindset of planning ahead of time. We spent as much as 6 months to bring this project into fruition. Of course, the plan is actually moving, and we're moving on a trend. Of course, as you're saying, that's why before this time we've already had several calls with other big call channels, and we're still having plans to do that. This is one of the best things that we are actually going to achieve in this. Of course, I'm sure that people would actually want to know about how we meet. Like I said, our team of developers worked severally. We've met online, of course, and these guys, we have been working together and, for some couple of time before now. And we just have the idea of bringing a project that will be both beneficial to the entire community and us as well. So that's how it is going to be. We have the ability to launch our app before even launching this project. Normally normal project like I know and you and I know, they would just bring up their, they bring up the token, and, before they now think of developing project. But now we actually have our app, the testnet version in place, and we are actually putting things, so that we can be able to launch our app first for our users to see it, test it, and get satisfied before we actually launch the project, behind this. So this is actually going to be amazing and very transparent, and that should give anyone a conviction that this project has just come to stay. It's a real new thing right here on the BSC platform. So I feel people who are able to join this call and learn about this project at this stage are very, very lucky set of individuals. And, they can actually join our private cell. Our private cell is currently active with a hard cap of 200 BNB. So that's what we're expecting. Of course, they can actually buy at this private cell stage with a minimum of 1 BNB and a maximum of 3 BNBs. During our fair launch, they will still have to get 10% more tokens deposited to all holders who actually participated during the, private sale stage. So that's the advantage they're going to, make. They're actually going to have real access, early access to our application, because, I would just call them early birds. These guys right now, they have the opportunity to join this platform at this stage. They're very, very lucky because they have a whole lot of things that people who are going to join later wouldn't be able to. And of course, I'm sure many people want to know about our marketing plan. I just have to just summarize everything so people wouldn't get to ask too much questions. But it's fine if they can actually ask more. For our marketing plans that we've implemented right now and in the future. Right now, we've had so many call groups, like I said, and we've made people to be more and more aware of these projects as well. And, we have call group promotion, Poolcoin and Monarch banner ads. We still have in mind to bring our advertisement to Poolcoin, because we know that that's a place people visit more often, maybe to swap the token more. So they would likely see our project displayed on a banner there in the Poolcoin group, of course. Then we are still going to have our social media campaign over Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and more. Of course, we are actually planning on writing more and more articles that are going to be launched in Yahoo Finance application. Of course, we are actually engaging in trending campaigns, CMS trending, YouTube, Twitter promotion. We'll do giveaways at times to make sure it's also a way that we can do more and more marketing, of course. And that's it. Coin market cap is still positive marketing, CoinKiko listings, and so many other listings that will come up in the future. So that's how the whole thing said. It is all about, and for our partner, we still have to emphasize that again. This is a real project and sustainable. When people bring our their ads, for us to display on our platform and users actually use it, they would have to pay us for that. And we are community driven, so our users are actually going to be given some percentage of that amount that is being paid by our partner to advertise the product on our site. And this is a cool lot of things. We'll pay them for that. At that point, if you check the screen, VTech is going to help you see the demo of the application, how it works. You have so many interface, very simple to use. It's not some sort of complex stuff. You don't need any private information to be able to access the application. So you keep the only thing we need from you actually to register on this platform is just your email. That's all. Just verify it, so you don't need your private information being recorded in the app or whatever. So that's how the whole thing works. The system is very plain, easy to view, easy to use, no asking of personal information and all, because we value the privacy of our users as well. And I'm sure that people would like to know how the system is going to be controlled, whether there is going to be anything like anti-cheat system that would actually prevent people who are trying to cheat on the system by creating several account and trying to, click the ads multiple times. Of course, we have the anti-spam bots. If people try to click you know, to click ads so much that they are being allocated, of course, our anti spam bot system is going to automatically kick them out because that is inappropriate, of course. So that's how the whole thing works. I will tell you guys a little bit about our tokenomics, buy and sell tags. So when we launch
So I
a
wanted
token,
to maybe, if it's okay, Moon, I wanted to maybe give you a breather. You can grab a drink, but man, you've given us so much information. So I do really
right,
appreciate you walking us through so much. I know you yourself and Spencer. Spencer's really passionate about this one. I know like he's just really excited to try and release this one to the public. So from my end, obviously, like you touched on a lot of the value, obviously, of the advertisement stuff coming into play. Oh, sorry, my dog popped up. I wanted to have you walk up kind of through some of the revenue splitting ideas that you have in place for the growth of the advertisements and obviously maybe specific packages that you guys might offer to give discounts to token holders if they potentially are involved in projects and maybe a benefit of a discount of like 5 or 10% to advertise if they're a holder, stuff like that.
of course, like I said, the main utility is our application as well, and users can actually access this. Of course, uh, the more token you have, the more likely it would be to actually be able to, I would just take you guys through the membership version. Of course, when we actually launch our apps properly and you hold the AZW token, you'll be able to do so many activities in the site as well, of course. And, if you are in VIP1, that would mean that you hold 100 USDT worth of AZW token in your wallet, and you'll be able to access a drop. You'll be able to access paid to click ads. You'll be able to access shopping and cashback. You'd be able to access and refer friends to earn. You're actually going to access our live channel as well. But that one you have just one restriction. You're not going to be able to use the lucky wheel spin, of course, to earn. But in the VIP2 section, and that one, you would need to hold 300 USDT worth of AZW token in your wallet. And of course, you can do everything. You can do a drop, you can pay to click, you can do shopping and cashback, you can refer friends, you can all everything and spin the wheel as well. That's the Oracle system. But if you don't have any of this token, you can still use our app anyways, but you can only do few things. You can participate in a drop, you can do refer friends to earn, you can do our live channel, but you wouldn't be able to access a drop, and you wouldn't be able to access pay to play ads, you wouldn't be able to access shopping and cashback and our lucky wheel as well. So those are the benefits of you holding our AZW token in your channel.
So like that's such a smooth walkthrough of like the benefits, and I appreciate you kind of talking through, especially to anybody who's maybe a newer user or a little bit unfamiliar, the concept of kind of like some of these hold to earn or SocialFi to earn or play to earn type, or not play to earn but like watch to earn, like these kind of new concepts that are coming into the space where you're actually rewarded for more traditional style of actions. I mean, engaging with advertisements and just being in your social platforms is something that is nothing new to any user, I think, in the space. Like Telegram is a social advertising platform. So it'd be really interesting to see if maybe, you could come up with something that works into this specifically so that even like as you're active within, your Telegram and maybe like, I just don't know if Telegram would ever consider working in some advertisements or stuff. But for me, like in the future, considering growth, like if potentially, you guys could incorporate with a TG or something like that, it would be insane. I think the potential of partnerships and everything for what you guys can do, like I said, it's a very new concept, haven't seen it utilized yet. And the growth potential as you guys have it rolled out and get feedback for communities or people even approach you. You never know where these things can go, and that's what's so exciting, right?
Of course, man. That's it. We actually love our community members so much because I think they were the whole idea we had in mind to bringing out the exam. We actually want it to be beneficial for all. So that's why we do everything to be sure that we attend to the needs, of course.
And then kind of looking into, I know you had mentioned a little bit about the community, and that's one of the things I always like to touch on because, a concept like this of social media is something that's existed so much for so many years before crypto. And then obviously, Telegram is a social media app geared primarily. I think the usage factor has been, crypto centric for the most part. I know obviously there is other use cases for it, but for me, kind of that's obviously what I've been geared towards. And they have a user base of, like 550 million or something like that globally. So it's pretty insane to think just the reach some of these different social media platforms have. And as you guys trying to kind of step into this light as a first mover, with a unique spin on, like I said, some of these to earn concepts. I'm really excited. So, would you guys ever think about kind of future growth of the ecosystem there? Like, what industries would you look to target? Like, is there anything specific you guys would look at for partnerships? I'm just trying to figure out from like an advertising perspective if there's something that you guys are going to gear towards, because obviously certain industries, monetarily spend a lot more, have a lot higher traction rates. So I think from like that side of thing also, like just trying to figure out how you guys are rolling it out more from like a real world marketing standpoint, not so much the crypto side.
Of course, we are actually hoping that we'll be able to partner with different more than 2,000 stores, in this our application, with more of them, including fashion, shopping, domain names, travel, and dining all over the world. you know, we are actually going to advertise the product and it will help them to buy goods as well. When they buy the goods, we're gonna give them cash back and all. So that's who we're targeting. We're targeting to have partners with different shops around the world who bring their product first to advertise and then actually get people engaged and patronize the product.
So like from this standpoint, integration into some of the bigger retailers online would be huge. So what's your approach or your stance on like an Amazon or a Alibaba or something like that where there's a high traffic, very high like user base and obviously like a very diverse market as well, like for advertisers, industries, sectors and stuff like that.
Of course, our target is we already know that these guys have existed and they've already made name and fame in advertising products. So what we do is we always give a huge amount of discounts. We always provide a coupon code of up to 10%. And if for example, let's say you want to buy a shoe worth $100, we're gonna give you a whooping 10% discount if you're using our application. So you would need to pay only 90 percent of that amount instead of just paying the whole amount of 100 USD. Of course, when you finish the payment and you still actually going to get 30% more cash back if you were using our token to pay, and we're actually integrating this our token for all our advertisers to actually collect it. Of course, when you bring this, we're going to have a deal with you. You're actually going to accept our token as well, for payment as well.
Perfect. And kind of for me as well, I've just been chatting with Spencer a little bit. Um, what do you guys have really? I think for me, your biggest audience, I think long term is going to be non-crypto users personally. So what are you guys doing to push this to the masses that are maybe not, within crypto, within Telegram, on Twitter or something like that, just focus on the crypto side, but are just on those platforms as users, because I think long term, like I said, you guys have that real world focus and kind of things that people in everyday life can already connect to, and it's less of a stretch. Real world people understanding why they would buy the next meme coin is a lot more difficult to sell than somebody understanding why they could invest in a project that they kind of utilize on a day to day, and this just allows them another form of passive income. Is a lot easier positioning statement to obviously make to kind of people who are looking at your project. So, like going back to my question, what are you guys doing more from a mass adoption standpoint to non-crypto users?
Of course, for master, that's why we normally, encourage people to actually get more information from our platform, our community platform, of course, Telegram for now. Of course, I know that not everyone love using Telegram, so we actually we have a Twitter page already, so they can actually have the questions there. We'll have them engage to answer the questions. Discord is also another community that we're planning to expand into as the project continue to gain massive growth. So, and of course, it's not mandatory that users must have the AZW token before they can buy on a platform. You can actually pay with US dollars, of course. And then the discount and the cashback we're giving you from using it to do the shopping, we're actually going to send it as AZW token to your wallet as well. So we'll educate users in our platforms, showing them how cryptocurrency works. If they're just completely newbie, we'll provide directives. We can even have some videos to illustrate how the platform works and how they can actually utilize it. So that's not a problem at all.
Perfect. I appreciate you walking me through that. And again, kind of looking at global reach. Obviously, social media is something that is utilized for different parts of the world for different reasons. I think in the more Western cultures, it's heavily driven by advertising and those types of means, whereas in different other parts of the world, you'll see it more used as a means of communication from family and actually um, more of a tool for engagement, less on the advertising side. So kind of like I said, in terms of your different global communities, how are you going to position it? Whereas people like myself in Canada or maybe somebody in the United States is active on their social media platforms for multiple hours a day and engaging with those advertisements and those brands. So often kind of in their experience online, whereas somebody else, the bulk use of their social media, maybe more of a WhatsApp or something like that, a line of communication to family members. So kind of globally, how are you going to align that marketing in the real world to people's understandings and kind of preferences in social media?
Of course, what we're doing, first of all, I would love to speak about the multi-language feature that we're going to develop very soon. So, whatever language, we're going to keep it very simple. As we keep go on growing, growing as a project, we'll bring in more innovations like the multi-language version. But at the moment, for users' preferences, let's say, let me just set example. For example, when you're joining Twitter, you'll be given so many choices to make. That's actually according to your own preference. Would you like things about cars? Would you like things about travel? Would you like things like shopping? Do you like things like comedy and more? So we're actually going to give these options to a user who's just coming into a classroom. So they're actually going to choose the one they would like to view more, and our system is automatically going to record that. And anytime they join and engage in the social media platform, that's what we're actually going to show them. So we'll show them things related to their preference, what they have chosen to see, and not what they don't want to see.
Terrific. And then obviously language wise, are you guys going to ensure like moderator wise, translation wise on your platform, it's available in multi-language, and how are you guys going to kind of cover that off on the back end?
Of course, for the multi-language, we're going to have our GPS as well, who is actually going to track people's location as well. We know where you're best, maybe in Canada, in Russia, wherever in the world. This application is going to be global. And of course, we know the exact location you are, just like Google. So we're actually going to give you a multi-language selection. As time goes on, when you download the app and get registered via your email, you will be asked to choose a location. Maybe you're from Canada, you're from anywhere in the world, so you choose it. So once you choose it, we're actually going to show you things related to your locality.
Love it. Yep, geolocation is important to have on an app like that. So that's smart feature to bring up as well on that. So thank you, Moon. Looking at kind of like I said, circling it back to the project, maybe I'll take up one more question, and then we do have a lot I've been seeing come in my DMs and in the comments. So I want to obviously give the community a chance. I know Spencer's excited to hear some feedback and stuff from the community as well. So my last question would more so just be related to kind of future use case of the DApp itself and actual rollout. I know you guys just showcased that demo, that video yesterday in your Telegram, which obviously was like a big thing for the team and a big thing for the community. Obviously, people, especially who jumped into Private One, that's exciting to see the progress the team is making. So, what are you guys looking at, maybe from like a timeline or a rollout perspective for the actual development of the DApp, like fully being functional, and then like what would you kind of say your next use case you would focus on as a project might be?
Of course, the next use case we're focusing on the project is on freelancers and content creators, influencers as well, of course. So these guys are just coming to create their content on our platform, and they will get rewarded in the AZW tokens. Of course, what we do is for people to earn passive income. So as when we launch fully, users would be able to click ads, view them, and actually make passive income. And then we actually have a feature where people can short on link, URL link, and shorten it to make passive income as well. um, the wheel spinning aspect, if you hold a minimum of like membership, VIP membership, you are going to have like, let's say, a minimum of 300 USDT worth of AZW token in your wallet, you'll be able to have the opportunity to actually spin the wheel. But the real use case of this ecosystem is for content creators and for partners as well who wishes to advertise with us so they can make passive income in the process.
And from a revenue sharing perspective, is there
Yeah,
going
man.
to be a number of tokens that you need to hold specifically to qualify?
Yeah, of course, the number of token really count, really count.
You guys would probably figure that out closer to the actual launch and stuff like that as you're working on like actually releasing the DApp and having the revenue kind of coming in.
Of course, we're going to have a web version of the app coming in soon, of course, but that is going to be a little bit in the future. But of course, I would like to, if people are still more curious about how this application is going to work, I would love them to take a look at it themselves, because already our team of developers have already put it in Play Store, the testnet version. So this testnet version would actually help you to see how our application works and how it is going to be used as well. But you can actually make some, tokens out of it, because there's some tags that we given to you that you have to perform and make some money out of it as well. So when we launch, your token is going, the withdrawal button is going to be visible. You can withdraw the token to your wallet as well.
To be reversible?
You mean?
Did you say the token's going to be reversible? Sorry, I thought I
No,
might have misheard.
I didn't say that. I was
Oh,
saying
sorry.
that. I
I
was
think my
saying that.
TG glitched.
Okay, okay, no problem. Sorry, man. Sorry, man. So I was
So
saying
I
that if
heard a different
users,
word. That's
yeah,
all.
if people who are actually listening to the call right now, are very curious and they want to know how the, AZ World application works and how it is going to be used. Our developers have already put in the testnet version right now on Google Play Store, the Android version of it, so they can download it and check out the features. It is fully functional. They can actually perform some tasks. It is going to be counted, but they would have to wait until launch when the real app is going to be given. All the rewards they've accumulated in this period will be counted, and they'll be, they can withdraw the token to the wallets respectively when we finally launch the main application.
Okay, perfect. So I wanted to throw it over now, if it's okay with you, to the community. I think we got a lot of questions here already sent my DMs, and I can check the comments as well. But why don't I
Right, man.
start with a couple of hands here for you. Let's see who's got some questions. Here we go. We're at the top. All right. So we will try getting in here a question from Sarah. I haven't heard from her in a couple days. How's it going, Sarah?
Hello, can you hear me, please?
Yeah, I
How's it
can
going
hear
today?
you. Fair enough.
Oh, thank you
Go
very
ahead.
much, Mohammed, for the opportunity. I'm just a little bit curious, and I want to know how you intend to make your token price stable as stated on your white paper. I know you mentioned it while you are taking us through the project that you plan working on the price of the token, but I need a more clarification on that. Because
All right.
we all know that the price of the token is can't really be ascertained. So I want to know, and if you are able to do that, the token will not lose its value. So what strategy have you planned to adopt in order to bring sustainability to the project and the price of the token?
All right, thank you very much. Like I said, we are actually going to partner with several, e-shops, people who actually advertise online. And when users of our platform actually view your, products, for example, and they get interested, they would want to, buy in. And when they buy in, they would have a cash back using our application up to 10%. And when they have this cashback, we are going to send this cashback in form of AZW token to the user's wallet. By that, we can have many holders as possible. And of course, we are actually going to have full stability in price because people would actually want to come use our platform to advertise their product because of how wide it is aimed to be. And of course, you know that when we have so many users about a particular name being mentioned, AZ World, becoming popular in a top-notch industry in the social FI, people be interested. They want to buy into the project, and with the marketing that we have been running around, and the ones that we're actually planning to do in the future, they want to buy into the project. That's will really help and stability of the price of the token.
Hmm, that's quite impressive. Hmm. Okay, thank you very much. Let's see how it goes. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sarah.
So let me get here our next question in. We'll probably let me get our next question in here. We'll go Ahmed. It's been a while since we've heard from Ahmed, as well as I'll actually get a question as in my DMs. This one was sent early from Positive Energy here. So he just had a question, Positive Energy _3. Question was, how do new businesses register on your platform? Are there specific requirements needed? So that's a great question. Thanks so much, Positive. Oh, did we lose you there, Moon?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Okay, did you catch my question? I just couldn't hear anything coming back through. I was just curious. Positive Energy was asking, how do new businesses register on the platform, and what are the requirements needed?
Of course, the information about requirements has not yet been released. Before launch, like I said, we're going to add up how people can actually get on the project as well. But I'm sure we're going to have our email, email of our project being published in the site. Maybe you want to reach out for marketing, you want your product to get advertised, then you can just email the team. Of course, we're gonna contact you.
Perfect. And Ahmed, if you wanted to go ahead with your question, I know you've been patiently waiting. Thank you so much, dude.
Hey Maurice, thanks for having me, man. I was taking a look at the website, and I had a question. Like, it says that we're gonna get paid by watching ads. So will it be like more specified ads, like how other social medias are doing it? And I had another question. I just forgot about it. So like, how will the ads be directed to the consumer? And will it be something similar to, I don't know if you heard about the Brave browser and the basic attention token. It's quite popular as well. Will it be something similar to that?
Of course, the ads that you're going to see, if you check the screen there shared by VTech, you're gonna see that in our app we have feature for pay to click ads. These ads are being brought up by our partners, by a third party who actually want to advertise in our channel. And this bonus cash flow would come from a third party who is going to be our advertising publisher. When they bring in these ads, they're actually paying for the ads. So when users see this, they can actually go ahead to view the new ads being published in our site. When they do that as well, we're actually going to show you ads that are applicable to your location, very close to your location. So as you view the ads, you stay in the site and read about the product for some time, you're going to get the token fed. But however, I told you earlier that we're going to have an anti-cheat system. So when you're watching the ads, we're actually going to know whether you're just coming to see the ads to make the money or whether you're interested about the product. When users bring their goods for us to advertise, they're going to have some detailed explanation on how their product was. So the amount of time that you spend reading about the product is going to be rewarded in the ATW token. So that's how the pay to click ads work.
Okay, so it's something quite similar to the Brave browser, like that. That's how they do it as well. And I don't know if you're gonna do this, but Brave browser, they have like the whole, you get paid for notifications. Like, you don't have to watch the ads anymore. You can just allow them to come as a notification, and you get rewarded for that. So that will be really nice to apply for your app as well.
All right, thank you very much. We'll think about that one as a suggestion, and come into conclusion with it if actually it's gonna work for us.
Yeah, I might download it. Like, whenever you go live, I might download the app and give it
All right,
give
sure,
it a
sure. You
try.
can actually
Looks really
download it
good.
and Play Store and see how it works.
Wish you
Thanks,
all the
man.
best.
Thanks, man, for coming
Thanks
in.
for
All right,
having me, Maurice.
all right, buddy.
Good. Of course. Thanks so much, Ahmed. Love having you out, dude. So next up, we wanted to maybe get a question in here from who haven't we heard from in a while? We haven't heard from Amir in quite some time. So maybe we'll get Amir up here for a question. And while we're waiting for Amir, like I always like to do, try and get something in from the audience. So I don't think I've ever actually had Dallas send me a question. So I have to ask it here. So for the AMA, if we interact with ads that they do themselves, so if they put ads up on Facebook, Twitters, etc., can we get paid with interacting with those too? And will this include negative ads too?
Hey
So pretty
Maurice,
much any ad work. So pretty much, will any ad work no matter the creator? He's just curious, kind of the types of ads that you can get rewarded from utilizing on different platforms.
All right. I think he is talking about more of censorship, right? I think
Let
that
me
should be
ask.
where his question come from. Information, full information about censorship program has not actually been, published yet as to the type of ads we are going to accept and the one we are not going to accept. But as we move on with the project, when then the application is going to be launched, you know, uh, we're going to bring out the rules as to which kind of ads you can actually advertise and the ones which are not acceptable.
Hello, Maurice.
First off, thank you so much for the question, for the answer to that one, Moon. Secondly, Dallas, thank you for the question. And third off, Amir, what's up? Floor is yours.
Yeah, I'm fine. How about you?
I'm great. Thank you for being here today.
Okay, thank you. So, I think my question here is, I just want to know, since it's it's a base advert thing. Like, I think users can create a double a multiple account. Like, so how do they how are they going to go about that? Like, and since it is a referral thing, like, I just think users can just or create a multiple accounts and just refer each other.
Of course, like I said earlier, we are going to have an anti-cheat system. That is actually going to work. Your IP address is actually going to be tracked and more. So you can actually, have one account per user. So we're actually going to guard against that, man.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. So my second question here is, are you getting me?
You
Yeah, I
still
can
hear
hear
you?
you.
Yeah, all right. So I just want to know. I saw I saw that users can you can get to refer one person and get 100 AZW. Am I right?
Yeah, but that would depend on the activity of the user you've invited. Maybe you inviting someone to buy in, depending on the number of goods of that person, the amount of goods being purchased by the person invited. So your commission would be solely dependent on that. So we didn't say you will get 100 USDT for that, but we said that you can get up to that amount depending on the total amount of money spent on goods purchased by the person you actually introduced.
All right. Pretty cool. So I didn't finish my question. So I just want to know how many people can one refer, like can one each person refer, like can you refer up to like 50 upwards, like maybe 10, or it just is it a limited amount of people you can refer?
Of course, you can refer people. If you check in there, you can refer as much people as you can. As I mentioned earlier, if you're just a free member, you would not be able to do some kind of things in our application, especially the spinning of wheel. But then we have a feature that enables you to spin the wheel at once. Every time you refer 3 users, so you can actually have other people.
All right, thank you very much. Man, that's all my question. That's all I got. Thank you very much, Maurice.
Of course, I really appreciate it. So I'll go to another question here from the comments section there. So we just had that question asked. So the next question, so this one's from Lost Life Saving. So one Favezi. So also, would there be a burning or deflationary system where every token used for shopping would be burnt, or would the tokens be burned or returned back to the initial supply? I think, yeah. So he's talking about on the uh, purchase side of things. Some of your partners.
Okay, the partner side, of course. Please come up with a question again. I think I didn't really get that.
Of course, yeah. So he said, so this is specific for like the shopping, so like the purchase of the merchandise and stuff like that. Would there be a burning or deflationary system in place where every token used for shopping would be burnt, or would the tokens be returned back to the circulating supply?
Of course, we are actually going to have that being announced. There's no information about that for now, man.
Okay, perfect. Um, we will see. Were they able to get their hands up there? Nope, I saw them drop out. So we'll try maybe, who haven't we heard from in a while? I heard from maybe Marie's. I don't think we've ever heard from Marie's. We've seen them in the chat a few times, so they got a question to ask today. I love it. What's going on, Marie's? So I do have a good question here from Razor while we're waiting for Marie's to get their mic unmuted. Is Razor's question is, so Razor is Badman Rays. So thanks for the question, Razor. So he had two questions. My first one is, why is the user reward slash earnings calculated by region and country?
By reaching and what?
Region or country?
Okay, yeah, of course. It depends on the country. There are some countries who actually uh, you know, the countries are actually not allowing all the ads to be run. So we are going to, direct this in more developing countries. For example, let's say in the United States, for example, you can make up to $1. In other countries, you can make 0.1, depending on the development of the region, of course.
Thank you for that one. And then the next question here, playing off of that from Razor, was from looking at the details of revenue allocation on the website, how are you guys going to make the app profitable and sustainable long term? Because at this point, the source of revenue is one, being the advertisements, but you guys are offering multiple ways in which a user can earn. So how will you guys be utilizing the tax or the tokenomics to help sustain the one revenue source? Great question, Ray.
Of course, users can actually, we actually going to suspend this project by implementing a tags, a buy tags of 5% and a sell tags of 10%.
So, kind of how will those specific sources help support the revenue aspect? Because I think what his question is kind of trying to get down to at the core is, with multiple ways to earn, but only one source of revenue coming in, how will you guys be able to sustain, through the referral system, through, your SocialFi to earn initiative? How are you guys going to sustain that just with one source instead of multiple streams, kind of growing that pool over the long term?
Of course, we have multiple ways of making money out of this. For example, you know that already, as application owner, we're actually being paid for that by Google, of course, by the ad mobs and more. And of course, our partners who are actually coming to pay for the advertisement we're going to use a platform to run for them would actually pay us. And of course, the buy and sell tax. So we have multiple stream of income to help us while we are moving in a journey of sustainability in a project, of course. And we never can tell how many people would jump in to actually get us to advertise products with them. And, that would be a whole lot of money.
Perfect. And we'll get What did I call out there? You let me know as well. Your kind of timing on your end, because as I mentioned, obviously we could run this for quite some time. We still have a lot of hands up. I'm gonna get Paul in here for a question on the mic. What's going on, Paul? I'll go to a couple more in the comment section there as well. Ooh, I have a question here from SOD V2 Hitman. So Hitman's question is, uh, how intensive will the advertisements be in your SocialFi platform? Will you be able to turn off the ads should you not choose to want to view them? And like that, so that's a good question, because I know with like Twitter and stuff like that, other social established platforms, you do have in some situations the opportunity to have a advertising free version. So should people potentially, I know like the concept is, engage with advertisements and earn, but some of those people who maybe just want to utilize the platform for some of the discounts with your partners and stuff like that, use it for more of like the actual shopping or marketplace aspect, they may not be as, you know, gravitated by the like the concept of SocialFi to earn. So what are you going to do to cater to those people who maybe just want to use it for the actual marketplace side of things, but not so much the advertising, like SocialFi to earn, like the actual out of your selling feature?
Of course, I will start from answering the first question that it was asking about the preference of the ads you want to see. Our system would automatically, match you with the ads you want to see by, giving you several options to choose from. Okay, you like choosing viewing advertisement about car and other resources. We'll show you adverts. We'll, channel your the address you're seeing to what you want to see. So that's how it is. And of course, people actually want to use a platform for their marketing. We're actually going to make sure that we actually give them a chance to do so, but they will have to pay for it. And then we'll be able to reach a large number of users in corresponding to the location that it wants these users to see the ads. And then that's how it is going to be. You have a large volume of people actually going to view your ads, and then you'll be satisfied with that. And of course, I know there are some people who may not want to see the ads as well. You can actually turn off the, view ads version, then you can continue with the SocialFi. So it's a two-way thing. You choose what you want to see and you decline what you don't want.
So that should address your question there. That was from SODV2 Hitman. So thanks, Hitman, for your question. So if we have, was I going to get up here for a question? We will try maybe, I haven't heard from Rami in a while. We'll try Rami here. While we're waiting for Rami, we have that one. So I have a question here from Ali Ahmad. So Ali 123366. His question is, I'm from the Middle East here. We do have a lot of investors who like crypto, but unfortunately a lot of them don't speak English. So what are you guys doing from a high level to push marketing into more Arab centric communities?
Okay, like I said before, we are going to match your ads that you want to see according to your location. Of course, if we can do that as well, then we're going to have a multiple language selection. So if you're from maybe Asia and more, you can also choose a package from your own language. But this development would come later. For now, we are solely actually going to launch the application with English, but users can still hang on if they don't understand English, in the near future, we are actually going to bring up multiple languages. And of course, the frequency of the language that we're going to bring in down is going to be best in the interest of people in a particular location. If we know that people in Asia are truly interested in his application, we'll do everything we can to translate this application into their own language so they can actually use them as well.
Perfect. So that's a great answer. Thank you so much there for the question. Let me just make sure that they are good with that one there, Ali. All right, I just messaged Ali. So I know this was kind of touched on earlier, but one of our users mentioned they dropped during that question. So they were just curious if you could touch on the cap for referrals again. They were curious on that.
What?
Cap for the referral system, if there's a limit on how many people can be referred in through one link.
Okay, you can refer unlimited number of people. So you can refer as many as possible as you can, and you'll get rewarded with one AZW token per user you refer.
You ever thought about, instead of it just being a strict referral system, have it be a referral with like a percentage of buys being allocated or something like that? You know, if you refer in people and they buy cumulatively like X number of AZ, you get a number. Like just have it preset. So like it's based on referrals, obviously driving people in, but you understand that not every person maybe you refer in is going to buy right away. But you obviously, as like a group, if you put 10 people into a channel, obviously 10 people going in and 10 people receiving 10 AZ for doing nothing. If 1,000 people did that, you're going to have a bit of you're going to obviously be putting tokens out there, and it might not be valued as you would if someone's actually buying in. So is there ever a thought or potentially utilizing more of a threshold on that standpoint?
Of course, I was saying that it is not going to be something with, refer this limited number of people, unlimited number of people to our, platform, and then basically doing nothing. We get you paid. Of course, that's not possible. If anyone promises you that, then you know that they really don't have any real use case. They're just coming here to do something that they can't do. What we're saying here is you have to refer a friend coming in. It depends on what they do. I think I've explained this earlier. When you refer a friend and they buy something, we're actually going to give you 20% from what he buys, as a reward for referring that friend to our system. So when you refer a friend and a friend is not doing anything, we are not actually going to pay you. But then if you refer a friend and then the friend maybe buys into the project or do shopping and get some cash back, then we're actually going to reward the referrer as well.
Thank you for that, Moon. So I had a question here as well from Crypt Lady Luck. I'm just going to probably get to questions in the DM because it's just easier than waiting for some mic delays. So Crypt 80 underscore Dakota underscore Army. So that's their username. So their question was, how did you guys actually come up with the name for AZ World Network? And then they kind of were like, joked, they're like, what about CZ Network or Crypto World Network or something like that? So just kind of trying to figure out how you came up with the idea. And then their second part of their question was understanding a little bit more about Spencer's background specifically, if you could touch on any past projects that he may be associated with.
Of course, the AZ world, we're actually gonna let people know. The idea is, some brands may have their names from A to Z. So we're actually trying to let people know that this application can promote people whatever goods and services they have to promote on our site as well.
Okay, perfect. And then, yeah, his second part was just a little bit more about the dev's background. And he was curious if this was a first project or if you could touch on maybe any other projects you may have been associated with in the past.
Of course, we've been associated with Chrono Ape, in the past, and the project is really doing well. Right.
Perfect. Thank you. So, Crypt, that's your question there, dude. So, what are you expecting after your different rounds of private and pre-sales to kind of have the equivalence of one B&B equaling on launch from a token perspective there, Moon?
Of course, we are actually expecting to, go to the moon. This is actually going to be a fair launch, and we expect that as more people buy in, the price of a token is gonna keep on moving up because we are actually hoping on, getting to the peak of the project very soon, of course. And after this, we're going to lock our LP for 10 years, and we are going to have 290 BNB as soft cap. Already we've been audited with Certik, so that's not a problem. We're actually going to move this project to the next level. So I see this project in the moon in the next few months.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I love the answers that you detail for us, Moon. So I will try and maybe get one more off mic here, get a closing statement over the mic from the community, and then we can transition to closing statements here for the project. But man, I'm like, I, I've been talking to Spencer a little bit throughout, and I just obviously the idea, the concept itself is just super cool and unique. And like I was saying in my early write up, and I think obviously is kind of going to be the key facet of success is just kind of the execution and the rollout. And on top of that, it's that buy-in and that support, not strictly just from like buying the token, but buy-in in terms of like wanting to jump into the app and adopt the idea and utilize the platform. Because Spencer and I were talking a lot about network effects for this project and how other social media platforms have really gained traction, over time. So yeah, it's exciting. So why don't we get, like I said, one last question in. Jesse, if you are ready, you could let her fly. I know your mic's normally pretty decent.
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome, dude.
Uh,
Thanks so much.
all right, thank you. So, Vitek, please. I was kind of curious. No, I love the idea behind your project because when you look at some regions in the world where um, carrying out big cash transactions could be risky based on security issues, people can opt for the use of your app to transact between companies, sellers, and individuals who are buying. So I wanted to know when you look at the crypto space today, most of the projects that thrive are projects that have physical contact with great investors. You look at projects like Quint, they had to go all the way to Dubai, do marketing, meet investors physically. So I want to know, do you have any plans of doing real life marketing, sensitization, going to big companies to tell them the whole idea about your app, especially those that don't even have idea about crypto already?
Yeah, of course, we have real life marketing. Um, for example, if you check our, store, our e-shopping, you'll find something like AZ t-shirt, That's another cool way to market, it's something like if you just put in a t-shirt and someone would ask you, hey dude, what's that, man? Tell them this is AZ World. What is it for? That's a good way of marketing as well. So we're actually going to move on with different brands of marketing in the world. I'm actually going to move this marketing to the next level on different world market.
Yeah, I understand the aspect of the t-shirt, but what I'm actually talking about is like you look at things like the crypto expo that happens in Dubai or exhibitions. I don't know. That's what I'm looking at. Like where you could literally, or do you have any videos on your site or on your social media handles that explains about crypto and about your app?
Of course, we're actually going to have a video that would give users a kind of, instructions and directives on how the application works, like an intro video. Uh, you know, Actually, right now in our group, we have a demo video of our app, which Vitek is trying to show up there in the screen. But we're going to bring something more advanced in the future for people who may not really have an in-depth knowledge of on how to use the application. So this a simple video, maybe 10 to 15-minute video, will be able to explain all the features of the app, how it is being used, how the, if you're an advertiser, how the team is going to be contacted, if you're a user, what you'll need to do to accumulate a token, and the number of tokens you can accumulate, and so on. So we are having plans to work in that, man.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Maurice.
All right,
And good
thank you,
luck to the
man.
team.
Thanks so
All
much,
right.
Jess. Appreciate the question. So I wanted to move to the closing statements, but I got a really good question sent to me early, and then she sent me a reminder while we had Jesse asking. So I maybe will ask about this one. Um, considering you guys are essentially like building up a SocialFi or social platform, how would you position yourself compared to an existing real world social platform like a Twitter or a Facebook? Um, that was one of his questions, and then the second one, I guess nobody actually asked about kind of competition wise how you guys, from a scalability perspective, would compare to some of those other players that are established as you grow. So that's a great question. And then the next one was just about in-app support and customer service to help with people's questions, like within the actual app.
Of course, that's a very cool question, and it's actually related to what I mentioned earlier. Facebook is a very cool application that many people are actually utilizing right now. But I think AZ World application is actually going to be better because we know that a lot of people actually pay Facebook and to actually advertise their products for them. We see tons of those products in Facebook. We just see the ads, and we get nothing out of it. But this is going to be a unique utility, a unique SocialFi where you can actually interact with people and view ads as well. Now, you don't view this ad free. As you're viewing these ads, you're going to get some point, which is actually going to be converted eventually into AZW tokens, which you can actually withdraw. So we actually a different SocialFi approach entirely.
Okay, so man, like I said, I really think the concept, the idea that Spencer and yourself and the team over there have put together on this one, and obviously, like I said, it something like this definitely takes a lot longer for people to understand in terms of the adoption. It definitely takes multiple touch points for people to potentially have the actual value proposition of what they could see from a benefit of a holder of the token as you continue to grow up the revenue. I do say, like, obviously trying to find additional revenue streams through via maybe partnerships or a small cut of potential sales that come through on the platform from a merchandise perspective. I don't just any other way that you can just add additional revenue streams into the platform is going to just be beneficial for the sustainability long term. And then, yeah, I think overall, I think people really connected well with your idea. Obviously, it is a vision. So for me, it's kind of following along, watching the execution. But you guys here are super early. They don't have their pre-sale. Let me get the official dates here from Spencer. I just got to pull up my chat with him. I've had so many questions sent to me. He's like 50 people down. Let me just pull up all my specific dates here from Spence.
I think the date is around 12th May, man.
Yeah, 12th May, but I know he mentioned that Oh yeah. Okay, it's going to be 290 B&B soft cap on the fair launch. Yeah, perfect. I just found my dates there. He sent me a lot of information on this one to review.
All right.
Perfect. And I'm going to also post a little bit of a graphic he sent me here too in the comment section just so people can take a look at that. But yeah, like I'm really excited to obviously follow up. I think everybody here can jump in the Telegram chat like I had mentioned as well. I saw this initially. I mean, I saw it in the schedule for the AMA and was in touch with Spencer, but then as I had some free time last night, just going around a few different groups, I did see this posted and shared throughout. So, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how you guys take such a cool idea and kind of translate it into a real world project. Because for me, the growth is going to occur from non crypto users, I think, to really push this forward. So like I said, really cool idea, and I'm excited to see how you guys are able to grow this one out. So join the Telegram group, guys. Follow along ahead of their fair launch on Pink Sale, May the 12th, as Moon had mentioned. Chat group is listed, so you guys can jump in through there. Just follow along. Make sure you guys, when you go through the portal, you follow the necessary verification steps so you can make it into their main chat. And yeah, just follow along ahead of their launch. And obviously, guys, for me, I really like the idea, and I can't wait to see how you guys push this in the next week ahead of the fair launch.
All right, Maurice, thank you very much for giving us an opportunity to speak about this project in your channel. And of course, it is a promising project that nobody would want to miss this. You know, we're bringing a real utility where you can actually interact to earn, view ads to earn, and do more and more, refer people and get commission, shop and get cash back. So it is totally amazing that we have to bring this into the world. And of course, we aim to become one large SocialFi in the crypto ecosystem and more, to first of all bring this in the BSC smart chain. So thank you very much for this chance. I really appreciate this.
I can't wait to see, kind of like I said, once you start pushing it to the real world, what the adoption looks like, because people are pretty familiar with interacting to ads, and if you add that aspect of making money and passive income, it's obviously a very tangible and should be sought after. So it's just all about execution, and I'm excited to see how Spencer can turn this dream into a reality, man. So I'm excited for you guys. I know he's super passionate about this, and thank you so much for giving us the extra time with the channel just to get through some of those additional questions, Moon.
All right, man, no problem. Thank you very much.